Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Xander, and today I am joined by...
I am the Slayer.
The Slayer. Brendoom Fraser Slayer guy.
Or Rhombusser.
The Rhombusser, yes. The man who rhombused my nose.
The man who also rhombused an entire house.
Yeah, you did. You did. I've seen the pictures. That was wild.
Yes. Yeah, that was one wild night because everyone was freaking out except for my stepdad because he was laughing. He was on my side on that because I told him I had nothing better to do. He was like, "Damn, I can't even be mad at that."
That's impressive.
He couldn't even be mad about it.
Did you eschew every picture frame, like every single in the whole house? Just
I don't even know. We don't really have any picture frames except for in my room. So.
Well, anyway,
I didn't want to ruin mine.
Today is Thursday, also known as Thursday, December 1st, 2022. We are in the home stretch, people. Month 12 out of 12. Let's go. I've only missed about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks max of doing this show every single day for a solid year. So that's a feat that I'm going to have to try to break next year. So yeah. Anyway, why don't you start us off here in 772, if you don't mind, sir?
Alrighty. In 772, Pope. It immediately botched the name. Pope Hadrian I. Hadrian I is elected.
So the Pose, is that like a Doge Pope or something?
Maybe. I'd imagine it is. I'd imagine so. Got my Nutella toast.
Yeah.
Coming right up.
What else happened? It looks like we're moving on up to the year 800.
In the year 800, Charlemagne judges the accusations against Pope Leo III in the Vatican.
Yeah, that's right. Charlemagne and the Pope were pretty much on equal grounds as far as hierarchy, because he was the Holy Roman Emperor. So, and he was a really, big name, in all of history back then and today. So.
Yeah.
Ooh. Got a weed joke year here.
Henry V of England enters Paris.
What year?
In 1420.
420, let's go!
In 1420.
Yeah. 420. So, anyway, moving on up to the year 1566, Spanish King Philip II named Fernando Alvarez Duke of Alva. Alright. And then we also have some music history in 1822, 200 years ago to this date. Franz Liszt, aged at 11, debuted as a pianist in Vienna. Alright.
Huh.
I'm going to take this other 1822 here. Dom Pedro was crowned Emperor of Brazil 200 years ago on this date. That's really cool.
Right.
And then right back at you, sir.
Alrighty. In 1824, U.S. House of Representatives begins to decide the outcome of election deadlock between John Quincy Adams and Andrew Jackson. Adams wins.
Yeah, that's right. They were tied. Oh. For people who don't know what awe is, go check out Ninja Costume on YouTube after this show, of course. Or it's a short video, so yeah, you can go check it out now if you want. Whatever. This is interesting. 1868.
In 1868, John D. Rockefeller begins anti-oil war. That's pretty suspicious.
Rockefeller, wasn't he in the oil industry? That makes no sense. Oh.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, he is. He's an oil industrialist. He began an anti-oil war. What the hell? That doesn't make any... hold on a second. I have to look this up. Why did John... Hold on on a sec. No, fuck off, Google.
Cannot go in there.
Here, start anti-oil. Hold on a second. Why did it start an anti-oil war? Said here war, right? 1860. Yeah. You know what? I'll just search this here. Standard Oil. I guess maybe it was, instead of like being anti-oil, like how we would look at it today, maybe it was a war against his competitors.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm gonna leave that. You know, that's the challenge of the day to our viewers. What does this mean? What does it mean that he started an anti-oil war, being an oil industrialist himself? Like, did he like flip on a dime and become like a Greta Thunberg, or was he like going after? Like, was he going against his competitors? Like, what was going on? Anyway, you got another one here in 1884.
In 1884, Society of Independent Artists hold first exhibition in Polychrome Pavilion in Paris. Includes I don't remember how we said to pronounce that. Georges Gorges, Seurats, Brother Batherson, Bastiers, Seurats. I like how we called it Seurats.
Bathers at Enseigneries, it looks like.
Yeah.
So this picture, I'm trying to get a bigger picture of this, but it doesn't seem that's going to be working. Come on. There we go. Huh. Alright.
Come on, Robert.
In 1887, Sherlock Holmes first appeared in print in Study in Scarlet by author Conan Doyle. Alright. So, happy birthday, Sherlock Holmes. 1900, exiled South African president of Transvaal, Paul Kruger, visited Flanders and on the same day was declined a visit from the German Kaiser. Oh. Huh. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that's
then
something.
Yeah, I think you did 2, right? No, you did. You did 3. That's right. Yeah, so I miscounted you. Then 1913, Ford Motor Company instituted world's first moving assembly line for the Model T Ford. So, yep. Cars for the people.
For most Americans that assume that we invented cars, no, we didn't. We invented the assembly line and the Model T.
Yes. Well, like I'm not sure if he invented the assembly line, but he sure as hell perfected it. So.
I think he perfected it, but I do think he did invent it. I don't know if he actually did. Maybe not.
It says here, Ransom E. Olds is the inventor of the assembly line.
I don't even know who that is. Who's that?
Ransom E. Olds was a pioneer of the American automotive industry, after whom the Oldsmobile and Rio brands were named. He claimed to have built his first steam car as early as 1887 and his first gasoline-powered car in 1896.
So America did invent this.
Oh, Oldsmobile. I think.
We invented Oldsmobile.
No, it says here, Rio Motor Car Works, Olds Motor Works, Rio Motor. Like, it just says Ransom E. Olds. So, I'm going to put a link to his... I'm going to put a link to his wiki here in the underbar for further reading.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can still say that America did invent the assembly line.
Well, we did. It wasn't Henry Ford. He just perfected it.
Yeah.
So.
Henry Ford just improved upon the original assembly line.
Yes. That he did.
Yes. I need to get my car started. I'm gonna try to start.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to take us up to 1916. There is virtual civil war in Greece as royalists fought Eleftherios Venizelos' liberal party. The Allies ensure a Venizelos victory. Okay. Greek politics, I don't know.
Greek. I bet you they were fighting over which god was better.
Huh. Kratos!
Made think of just like, it's Kratos. We all know it's Kratos.
Yeah, it's obviously always Kratos. So.
But then again, Kratos never brought in the mythology. He does not bring the end of the Olympians. He does not. Actually, none of them really die in the actual mythology. None of them really do go away. They just kind of disappear.
They do.
Just kind of.
They do.
Yeah, all because Ares wanted to be a little turd.
Yeah, well, and same with, well, I don't want to spoil the ending to Ragnarok, but, there's one guy, who died, and he just disappeared as well, remember? Or have you gotten there yet? Oh, no, I beat the game. Okay. So
I streamed the end. I streamed the ending.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, if we're thinking real mythology, because you know how Atreus is Loki in that game.
Yeah, and Loki is supposed to be Thor's brother, so.
And Loki is supposed to die.
Yeah.
Heimdall.
Yeah.
Like, them and Heimdall are supposed to, they're supposed to stab each other and they both, bleh.
Huh.
Both go flat. But yeah, no, yeah. That's supposed to happen, but I'm not going to spoil anything, so, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't tell you.
Well, I mean, it's not much of a spoiler. It's Kratos. You know?
I mean, it's kind of obvious that Kratos knew about it.
Yeah,
and Kratos pulled a Kratos.
Even if he didn't, it's Kratos. Like, he would just Kratos his way to Kratosing, you know? Like...
And Kratos is just like, yeah, fate doesn't apply to me, so...
Yeah. Like, he's like, bro, I killed the fates.
It's like, you see this guy? Dunzo.
Yeah. But anyway, up here in the year 1919, Lady Nancy Astor was sworn in as first female member of British Parliament. Alright. That's cool. We got another historic event here 100 years ago, starting us off here, and we have in 1922, the first skywriting over the U.S., Hello USA by Captain Turner, Royal Air Force. Oh, well that's cool. So the Royal Air Force, did the first ever skywriting, and it was the first skywriting over the U.S. at least, and it said Hello USA. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Do you want to take this historic event here, another 22?
Yeah. In 1922, Polish State Chief Marshal Józef Pilsudski resigns.
Ah. Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna I gotta move my side-by-side over to the car. I gotta jump start my car.
Okay. Did you figure out what was wrong with it?
Yeah, it's just not starting.
Okay.
Bad.
I
mean, not my fucking... It is kind of my fault because the battery, I kind of figured on the battery being kind of junk at the moment because it had sat for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta keep that thing turning over, man.
Yeah, and I wasn't exactly around that car during those 2 weeks. It was still at the shop, so...
It was their fault.
Yeah, I can kind of blame them because they should have been maintaining my car while I wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was at their shop. It's not my responsibility if it's at their shop.
Yeah, that is true. So it's not your fault at all.
Yeah.
Unless, were you supposed to pick it up? Were you supposed to pick it up?
Idiots. Huh?
Were you supposed to pick it up like a week and a half ago and you've just been letting it sit? Or?
No, we just had to let them know what day we were coming in, and it happened to be the other day. And now they were cool with it. They were understanding. They didn't think to replace the battery. I was thinking, why would you replace the battery? Like you knew it was bad. You knew that battery was bad.
Yeah.
And you also didn't think to maintenance the transmission. Like, really?
Well, let's continue this conversation after the show, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Gonna move on up here to 1924. La Révolution Surréaliste published its first issue in Paris, edited by André Breton. Alright. He's a writer and surrealist. Okay. 1924, George and Ira Gershwing's musical Lady Be Good premiered in New York City. All right.
Nice.
And I think that's my three, unless you're still preoccupied with something.
Yeah, I'll read off the next three.
All right.
In 1933, Rudolf Hess and Ernest Röhm become ministers in Hitler's government.
Uh-oh. Bro, look at this guy, like, square head, like, thing, like, I don't know. Why does he look so concerned? He's like, oh, no.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I might need to figure out where the key is for the side-by-side, because I kind of need it.
Huh.
Because I kind of need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet Josh probably has it on him.
Huh.
And he's all the way he's all the way down, like, 45 minutes from here, so I'm not dealing with it.
Huh.
I'm just gonna tell. I might have to get a hold of Cody or something.
All right.
Because it needs to be.
Well, do you got this 1934?
Yes. In 1934, Leningrad Mayor Sergei Kirov is assassinated. Joseph Stalin uses it as an excuse to begin his Great Purge of 1934 to 1938.
Oh, wow. So the start of the Purge. Look at that.
Huh.
Wow. 4 years of terror. That's, and
Yep.
that's when Stalin invented Photoshop.
Yep.
Yep.
In 19... I got one more. Oh, alright. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say you got one more. So go ahead.
Alrighty. In 1934, Toronto Maple Leafs beat St. Louis Eagles 4-3 to set an NHL record for the most wins to start the season with 8. Leafs do it again 59 years later and won 10 in a row to start the 1993 and 1994 season.
Nice. Yeah, so that's an Alice article right there. Oh. And we got a historic event here in 1937. Japan recognized Spain's Franco government. Well, yep, that's not surprising for Japan at the time. And moving on up to 1939, SS Führer Himmler began deportation of Polish Jews. And see, I was made aware of something recently. The Holocaust was not Hitler's idea. Now, he was deporting them and getting them out of the country, yes. But outright killing them, he was actually approached by an outside political person, and he told, like, hey, instead of just moving them, just kill them. He's like, okay. And then so that's how that happened. But, yeah, no, the Holocaust was not Hitler's idea. So that's, that's a little snippet in history a lot of people don't know, and I didn't until recently myself. So, and then in 1941, Japanese Emperor Hirohito signed a declaration of war. I guess with the U.S. maybe. I don't know. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, because what happens in 6 days from now?
Pearl Harbor.
Yep, that's coming up. So yeah, so he signed that declaration of war to validate our attack, and he didn't tell us, of course. So, 1942, if you don't mind, the first 1942.
In 1942, gasoline is rationed in the U.S.
Yep. And if anybody thinks that things like, the extremes that this country went through in World War I, World War II, and all the other stuff, if the extremes other countries have gone to, if anybody thinks for one iota of a millisecond that we won't resort back down to that when shit really hits the fan, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan and all that stuff, they have another thing coming, Like, we're already like in massive crises all across the board. It's only going to get worse if we go to war. So, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got another one here in 1944.
In 1944, Bela Bartok's Concerto for Orchestra premieres in Symphony Hall, Boston, by the Boston Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Serge Koussevitzky.
Man, I've ruined that word for myself permanently. Every time I see Boston, my brain's like, Boston! Like, ooh, another cricket. Here we go.
In 1947, the first cricket test match between the two nations, India, is dismissed for 58 by Australia in Brisbane. And fast bowler Ernie Toshak takes 5 for 2 off 2.3 overs. Don Bradman scores 185 as Australia wins by an innings and 226 runs.
All right. Man, maybe I should start learning. Like I never believed I'd start learning more about sports, just inadvertently by reading history. But yeah, it's part of history. So, but then moving on up to 1951, Benjamin Britten's opera Billy Budd premiered in London. All right. Got a historic publication in 1953. Hugh Hefner published first edition of Playboy magazine, featuring Marilyn Monroe as the magazine's first centerfold. Ah, yep. Good old pervy worvy over here, Hugh Hefner. And we also have 1955. Rosa Parks was arrested for refusing to move to the back of a bus and give her seat to a white passenger in Montgomery, Alabama. Here we go. This is how it starts. So, which, it's good. Needed to start. So, but yeah. I have a meme involving this, actually, but it's not good for the show. So, but yeah. Anyway, right back to you, sir, if you wish.
In 1956, Frank Robinson, National League, and Luis Aparicio, in the American League, voted Rookie of the Year.
Oh, cool. Ooh.
In 1956, led by future Basketball Hall of Famer Bill Russell and Casey Jones, the U.S. wins its fourth consecutive Olympic gold medal with an 89-55 victory over the Soviet Union at the Melbourne Games.
Yes. Well,
good.
We were in a Cold War with Russia back then, but on the sports fields, it was a hot war.
Uh-huh.
Look at this guy using his conductor's wand as a makeshift middle finger.
In 1956, Leonard Bernstein's musical Candid opens at Martin Beck Theater, New York City. Runs for 73 performances.
Ah.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. We got a film premiere here in 1956. Musical comedy film The Girl Can't Help It, starring Jane Mansfield with cameos by rock and roll stars Little Richard, Eddie Cochran, and Gene Vincent premiered. Huh. 1957, seminal rock band Buddy Holly and the Crickets made their Ed Sullivan Show debut, performing That'll Be the Day and Peggy Sue, uh-oh. Singer Sam Cooke also performed after getting bumped due to time constraints on November 3rd. He sings You Send Me and I Love You for Sentimental Reasons. Alright. I'm going to have to give this to you.
In 1959, the 25th Heisman Trophy Award, Bill Cannon from Louisiana State University. He was a halfback.
They don't have those
so
anymore,
the Heisman,
right?
Heisman is basically the MVP. That's pretty much what it is.
Yes.
Yep, that is the college equivalent to an MVP. It's always been called the Heisman just because Heisman has a very sentimental value to the college league.
Dude, Heisman, like that one game we reported on a while ago, like I don't remember who it was versus what, but it was like, what was the score? 223 to nothing. Like it was, it was a massacre, bro. Like, that's the most one-sided fight I've ever seen since Mike Tyson fought a baby. Oh, great! Did we just become Family Guy? Oh my god.
Oh god, we really did.
Then in 1960, British rocker Paul McCartney and drummer Pete Best were arrested and then deported from Hamburg, Germany, accused of attempted arson. Oh, Paul, why? Why are you guys setting things on fire? Come on, man. Deported from Germany. Wow. Like what do you got to do to be deported from Germany? But then back up to your turn.
In 1960, Patrice Lumumba caught in the Congo.
Ah. The Congolese nationalist and politician, so maybe he was a political enemy or something?
Possibly.
Yeah. Ooh.
In 1964, Martin Luther King Jr. speaks to J. Edgar Hoover about his slander campaign.
Yeah, because Hoover, I don't remember the exact quote, but he called Martin Luther King Jr. like an unfathomable liar or something like that. And it's like, Hoover, bro, like, stop. So.
Yeah.
Ooh.
In 1967, Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain scores 52 points in 76ers' 133-109 win over Seattle Supersonics, sets NBA record for 22 free throw misses.
Whoa. That's not good. You don't want a record for the misses. So unless it's the old ball and chain, then you do want a record for that kind of misses, but yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, 1967 as well, Queen Elizabeth II inaugurated a 98-inch or 249-centimeter Isaac Newton telescope.
Nice.
Cool.
Good on her.
Yeah. We got an album release here in 1967 as well. Track Records released the Jimi Hendrix Experience's second studio album, Axis Bold as Love, in the UK, just 7 months after their debut release. Oh, that's not bad.
So crazy to think that guy never knew how to tune a guitar. He never knew how to.
Huh.
So when he played a guitar, it was never tuned.
Huh. Well, I mean, at least his sound is unique,
Oh yeah, 100%.
Nobody, like that's something on a personal level. You can never mimic that because to do so you'd have to be an exact clone and replica of Jimi Hendrix himself,
Uh-huh.
So that's, and I haven't even really, like, to my knowledge, I don't know if I've heard any of his music. I'm pretty sure I have. It's inevitable, but
Yeah.
But I can't name anything. I just know the guy is a legend. So
Yeah.
But then in 1968, Burt Bacharach and Hal David's musical Promises, based on the 1960 Billy Wilder film The Apartment, opened at Schubert Theater in New York City, running for 1,281 performances, also to win a Grammy and 2 Tony Awards. Now that is a good role right there. So, and going right back up into sports, perfect timing for your turn to start.
In 1971, Chicago Cubs release longtime star and future Hall of Famer Ernie Banks, ending his 19-year MLB career. Now, Banks will serve as a coach on manager Leo Durocher's staff. Banks finishes with 512 home runs and 1,636 RBI.
Yep. And that's runnings, battings, ins? Right?
I think so. I don't know.
What is RBI? Runs batted in. Okay. So, like, runs batted in. A run batted in is a statistic in baseball and softball that credits a batter for making a play that allows a run to be scored. For example, if the batter beats a base hit which allows a teammate on the higher base to reach home and so score a run, then the batter gets credited with an RBI. So basically, bringing somebody in. So that's cool. That's a lot of people to bring in. 1,600 some odd,
Mm-hmm.
And so you have 2 more, right? Yeah. In
1971, John Lennon and Yoko Ono released single "Happy Xmas, War Is Over" in the U.S.
Huh. I think I've heard that one. I'm gonna have to listen to that again because I don't remember any Christmas songs with a high shrieking chihuahua as a singer, but we'll see. Uno mas.
In 1973, Davis Cup men's tennis, Cleveland, Ohio, Rod Laver and John Newcomb beat American pair Stan Smith and Eric Van Dillen 6-1, 6-2, 6-4 to give Australia an unassailable 3-0 lead and 5-0 23rd Cup title for Australia.
Dang. So, unassailable lead, and then they kept going. We got a golf tournament in 1973 as well. Jack Nicklaus finished at 13 under par, 275 to win the Walt Disney World Open by one stroke from Mason Rudolph. That is close. He became the first player to reach $2 million in PGA Tour career earnings. Dang. That's really cool. And then we have a historic event here in 1975. U.S. President Gerald Ford visited People's Republic of China. Blech. So, yeah. We got some music history here. In 1976, the Sex Pistols, using profanity on TV, got them branded as rotten punks. Well, they are. So, yeah. Oh, do you mind if I take this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
1978, made Australian cricket fast bowler Rodney Hogg debuted in first test versus England in Brisbane. After Australia all-out 1-16, Hogg made instant impact by dismissing both high-profile England openers Graham Gooch 2 and Geoff Boycott 13. Sorry, mate, I had to do that. I saw Australian. I'm like, oh, my Australian is Australian. So.
Yeah. In 1978, U.S. President Jimmy Carter wore the doubles national flag system. It's nice. Crikey.
That sounded more authentic, actually. So. I wonder, like, how many different Australian accents there are, because, like, it's a big continent, country, island thing, and yeah, because, like, I have heard Australians talk like this, mate, but I have had them talk like this too, you know. So.
In 1981, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar passes Oscar Robertson 26,710 to become NBA's second all-time leading scorer behind Wilt Chamberlain. Scores 14 points in 117-86 Lakers win over Utah Jazz in Los Angeles.
Yep. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yeah, he was in the movie Airplane, too. He was one of the co-pilots. Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't call me Sterling.
Yeah. Roger, what? Roger over, huh? There's so much stupid comedy in that movie. It's great. I think you have one more, right?
Yes. In 1982, Tootsie, directed by Sidney Pollack, starring Dustin Hoffman and Jessica Lange, premieres in Hollywood.
Nice. Then we got a film premiere here in 1984, Beverly Hills Cop, directed by Martin Brest and starring Eddie Murphy and Judge Reinhold, premiered in Los Angeles.
I love that movie.
That's another movie I need to see. Like,
that movie's fucking funny.
Then we have a Heisman Trophy here in 1984, the 50th Heisman Trophy Award, Doug Flutie of Boston College, quarterback. Hey, why did the football coach go to the bank?
Why?
To get his quarterback.
Damn.
1984, U.S. tennis icon Chris Evert won her 1,000th career professional match, defeating Pascale Paredes of France 6-1, 6-7, 6-2 in the round of 16 at the Australian Open. Evert goes on to win the event.
The Aussie Open.
Oh yeah, crikey, mate.
Hey. Crikey.
And then moving on up, 1985, TV miniseries Anne of Green Gables, based on the novel by Lucy Maud Montgomery, starring Megan Follows, was first shown on CBS in Canada.
Canada. Crikey. Canada.
I'm just gonna get hit by a boomerang one of these days and go whack. You know, like. Stop butchering my bloody language, you fucking palm. Anyway, 1988. Oh, it sounds like you're driving.
In 1988, Benazir Bhutto, named Prime Minister of Pakistan, first female leader of a Muslim country.
Wow, that's awesome.
Cool.
That is incredible, actually. Think about it. Like, Muslims, like, they treat their women less than dirt. And so for them to, you know, for a woman to be a leader of a Muslim nation, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Pakistan, no less, huh?
Yeah, of all places, Pakistan.
Yeah, it's too bad Pakistan is such a Chinese suck-up today, but yeah.
Pakistan, eh? In 1989, Romanian 5-time Olympic gold medal winning gymnast Nadia Comaneci arrives in New York City requesting political asylum to the United States granted.
Yeah. I think she was like beaten or something by her gymnast teacher or something. I don't know. A lot of these Russian athletes were mistreated one way or another by their coaches or something.
Only Russia.
Well, not only Russia, but
yeah. But Russia. Starts slurping on. Starts sucking coffee.
Just makes a screwdriver. Russia.
In 1989, USSR President Mikhail Gorbachev meets Pope Jean Paul II at the Vatican.
Ah.
Yeah, the Vatican sounds like a villain's lair.
The Vatican, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, the Vatican. I'm gonna go to the Vatican. My lair.
Retreat to the Vatican.
Retreat to the Vatican, fellow villains.
Moving on up to 1990, British and French workers met in the middle of the Channel Tunnel under the English Channel. I thought we had already covered this, but I guess not.
This guy out here just chilling in a tunnel.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to convert to being a French guy because it's a partially white flag.
Well, no, that is the French flag because that's when when they made the Channel Tunnel, they came in from both sides. So that picture is when the wall was broken and the French and English side are officially connected under the English Channel. Yeah, that's what that photo. Yeah, tunnel diggers from France and England meet halfway. So, yeah, majorly historic photo. That might actually be the thumbnail for today's video. We shall see. But then in 1990 as well, the dictator of Chad, Hissène Habré, fled to Cameroon. Well, that's not a Chad move right there.
Yeah, that's not very Chad.
Yeah.
What a win.
I know.
What a sissy.
Yeah.
What a baby. What a little baby.
Where?
I'm a little baby. Where? That plane episode, like that episode where Stewie and
oh yeah, I'm a baby. Kicks the guy's chair. Where? I'm inconsolable. Where? That poor guy.
He's like so sarcastic about it, dude. He's just like, bruh. Like Stewie, chill out, man.
Anyway, also in 1990, New York Knicks center Patrick Ewing scored a career high of 22 field goals in his 50-point haul in 113-96 win versus Charlotte at Madison Square Garden.
Are they sure that's not football? A field goal?
Dude, like I was confused too, but apparently field goals exist in basketball too. Like
they do. They kick the ball from the other side of the. They kick it into the net.
Just, boom, like punting the basketball, and it gets nothing but net swish. You know, that'd be great. I'd pay to see that. So, but then you got 1991 here.
In 1991, Miami quarterback Dan Marino sets an NFL record when he reaches 3,000 yards passing for the 8th time in his career during the Dolphins' 33-14 win over the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's at Jobby Stadium.
Dang, 3,000 yards. That's a lot of passes.
That was the Tampa Bay Tom Brady's before Tom Brady joined their team.
Yeah.
That was before he even got conceived into the NFL. Before he was what should have been the biggest flop in NFL history. Because he shouldn't have even got a starting spot because it was a 6th rounder. He was a 6th round, 199th overall pick. Like he was projected that low.
Dang. Dan Marino?
No, Tom Brady.
Oh, okay.
I think Marino was a 1st rounder.
Ah.
I know Manning. I know the Manning boys were well. They were like between the 1st and 3rd round. They were.
The only Manning I know is Peyton Manning. There is another one.
Yeah, there's Eli Manning.
There's
actually 3 Mannings.
Huh.
There's Peyton, Eli, and Cooper. And then Cooper actually has a kid who's trying to become the next Peyton Manning. He's trying to get to the NFL right now. He's only a sophomore or something. He's not that old. He's got a ways to go.
So he's a sophomore in high school is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if he keeps on keeping on, and then there's someone I know who should get into college football, So,
yeah. I wish I could have played against him just to embarrass him. Like right in front of the Manning boys, like, ha!
Bro,
got him.
That'd be funny.
Like, and I can hold that, and I can just hold that over the Manning boys forever.
Oh my god!
I embarrassed a Manning.
You should totally do that. That sounds hilarious.
Like the most legendary football family in history, and I just embarrassed one of their members.
That would be funny. I'd pay to see that too.
Like stack him.
But anyway, let's move on up here. 1991.
In 1991. Nursultan Nazarbayev sworn in as president of Kazakhstan.
Ah. All right. Well, he was the first president of Kazakhstan. So interesting. Huh.
Yes. I was going to say, that's a relatively new country. It's not that old.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's only like 32. It's only, 31 years old now?
Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah. I would say it's 31 just because that was the first day a president was running the place.
Well, let's see here. How old is Kazakhstan?
It's history. Like 30. Wait, scroll up real quick. Yeah, it says it right there.
Yeah, like it says here, though, Kazakhstan, formerly a constituent or Union Republic of the USSR, declared independence on December 16th, 1991. So this is the first president. So we're going to be talking about this here, because that was what, 91? Yeah. Yes. So he became president before they were even independent. So here we go.
Yep.
So that's weird. The presidency office is older than the actual country. What the hell? Like.
Yeah, the U.S. country, it's older than the presidents. It's older than what the presidency was.
That is true. However, the U.S. Army is older than the actual country, because it stems from the Continental Army that formed back in 1774 or something. So.
Did you know the country is actually even older than that, even though it was a colony at the time? Technically, if you want to get technical, it existed in 1600s.
Yeah, as colonies, and they had their own government branch, but they were still under the supervision of the crown. So, but like as an inhabited nation, yes. Then you can go back all the way to the Native American stuff, depending on which technicality you want to use for which semantic, everything is correct.
Yeah, technically, all of those answers are correct. Although, technically, 1774 is when the country actually became a country.
Yeah. Well, before it was even called the United States, because the United States didn't exist until the mid 1780s. Because it took about 10 some odd years, for them to figure out exactly what they're going to do. So, because when you talk about the first president of the U.S., it was George Washington, but he wasn't the very first president of what would eventually become the U.S. So, there's another stem of technicalities that you can go down the rabbit hole with. So anyway, why don't you tell us about this 1991 here?
In 1991, reigning U.S. Open champion Payne Stewart wins only one hole, but claims the skins game at LA Quinta and sets record for he sets a record in the process. 3-foot birdie putt at the 14th hole earns 8 skims worth $260,000. Record for most money won on one hole.
Dang. A 3-foot putt. That's impressive.
Damn.
Then in 1992, Amy Fisher was sentenced to 5.5 years for shooting Mary Jo Buttafuoco. 5 to 15 years. So, good. Whoever Amy Fisher is, the only notable thing she has is shot Mary Jo Buttafuoco.
Oh.
In 1994, Jim Bakker, U.S. televangelist and convicted fraud, was released from jail. Look at that smug little face he has. Ooh, I'm a fraud. Ugh. Like, kind of looks like he has Joker scars a little bit going on. So. And then in 1994, manuscript by Robert Schumann of his Second Symphony sold for a record $2.3 million, a record for any 19th century work, at auction in London, England. Ooh, you got an interesting one here in 1994. Oh, I see you're muted. Let's see if he comes back to read. I guess he's not, so I'm going to continue on. 1994, rapper Tupac Shakur convicted of sexual assault charge. Pardon me. And he was later sentenced up to 4.5 years in prison. Dang. When did he die? Like 1996. So obviously he was released within 2 years after that. Then 1996, speaking of 1996, Wayne Gretzky became the first and only National Hockey League history, or only player in National Hockey League history to reach 3,000 point plateau, including playoffs. Records in assist and New York Rangers 6-2 won over Montreal Canadiens at Madison Square Garden. All right. In 1999, rapper Jay-Z stabbed record executive Lance Un Rivera at a nightclub in New York. Well, that's not cash money of you, Mr. Jay-Z. Why are you stabbing people? Come on.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm bad. So.
Welcome back. Perfect timing. We're going to be doing the split, and I would like you to start us off when we start part 2. Welcome to part 2. It is now Ramos' turn. Ooh.
In 2003, Return of the King, third and final film in the Lord of the Rings series, directed by Peter Jackson and starring Elijah Wood and Ian McKellen, premieres in Wellington, New Zealand.
The Return of the King.
That trilogy is, and most people will say this too, the greatest trilogy of all time, and it can't be topped. Like a lot of people will say that you cannot top those movies.
I mean, like, I'm still a fan of the Tridge of Star Wars, despite it being owned by Disney. Yeah. Like, you know, that was like the first trilogy, because my dad gave me the because he had the VHS trilogy from like the 80s or whatever, and I still have it. And that was the first, actual series of movies I ever saw, and I was like 5, 6, years old, somewhere in there. So like, I'm an OG fan, as OG as you can get in my generation. So,
as OG as you can get.
As OG, I am OG.
I'm the OG fan.
I am the OG Pog.
I'm the OG Star Wars fan.
August Pogus. Anyway, you have another one here in 2005.
In 2005, musical The Color Purple, based on the book by Alice Walker, opens on Broadway, produced by Oprah Whitney, starring LaChance, Tony Award Best Actress in Musical.
Musical. Dude, I read that as Oprah Winfrey too, so we both...
I was like, oh god, not this person. Not like, Oprah.
Like, what does Oprah have to do with this? Like, other than an obvious factor that I can't say.
It's like, and you get a starting role, and you get a starting role.
And you get an oat, and you get an oat, and you get an oat. Everybody gets oats! Like, that was the gayest thing I've ever done on the show.
The way I can sum up the Warrior Run game... No, that's not the... I don't know why I said word. The way I could... summarize my team's rivalry game. The rival was, and you get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown, and you get a touchdown. And the final score was 63-7.
Wow.
My team won. My team absolutely dominated that game.
That is a massacre right there. Like,
You want to know what the score was when we ended the half?
what?
49-0.
Wow.
That's like,
That's when the other coach needs to just throw in the towel. Like,
he just needs to give up. He just needs to give up on his players because they are garbage.
God.
They were only good for 2 seasons. And sure, they beat us. They blew us out by 30 points in both of those games. But they got blown out by a team that we damn near beat during the playoffs. They actually got shut out by the team that we played. Or the one that I remember playing. The last team that I ever played was the team that I used to play for.
But what else happened here in 2007?
Bad blood against them. I had a little bit of a. In 2007, T.C. Williams High School newly constructed basketball court is named after Earl Lloyd.
Nice.
Yeah.
Then in 2009, Ballon d'Or FC Barcelona forward Lionel Messi was named Best Football Player in the World. Won award by a then record margin, 240 points ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo of Real Madrid, with Barcelona midfielder Xavi as third. Dang, 240 point lead. Like, that he is a very good football player. Like, and we got another historic event here in 2012. Enrique Peña Nieto was sworn in as president of Mexico. All right. Is he the current president of Mexico? Profession, he was a president, but yeah. You know what? Let's see here. Current president of Mexico. Nope. It's Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador. All right. Anyway, 2012 as well. Ex-England soccer captain David Beckham left Los Angeles Galaxy triumphantly with a second MLS Cup winners medal after a 3-1 win over Houston Dynamo in Carson, California. Final game of his 6-year stint in the U.S. Dang. In 2016, French President François Hollande announced he will not seek a second term, the first modern French leader not to do so. Huh. That's interesting.
So yeah, I'm calling my mom, or well, she's gonna call me back here in a minute. So I'm gonna find out where this jumper box is so I can get my card started.
All right.
So yeah, once I get it started, I won't be able to talk for about a half hour till I get down to work.
All right. So do you want to take this one, or am I gonna keep on continuing?
Yeah, here I'll bust this one out before my mom calls back.
All right.
In 2016, Gambia's presidential election, dictator Yahya Jammeh is defeated by Adama Barrow after 22 years in power.
Dang. That's
I'm not
interesting.
gonna lie, that sounds like something that would call somebody in Jamaica. Like, Jimmy.
You Gemma. Anyway, in 2017, President Trump's former national security advisor Michael Flynn pled guilty to lying to the FBI. I don't know what to say, you know? Like, with how things are going, I have a feeling he was pressured into doing so, but at the same time, I don't trust Trump at all. Like, yeah, I'm not a never Trumper, but I'm not a supporter of him either, so... Anyway, 2018, Ariana Grande released a music video to her single Thank You Next, biggest ever launch on YouTube premiere. Dang. Huh. We got a film premiere here in 2018. Computer animated film Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, starring Shamilek Moore and Haley Steinfeld, premiered in Los Angeles, later to receive the Academy Award Best Animated Film in 2019. Alright. And that's yet another movie I have yet to see. 2019, British Mercedes driver Lewis Hamilton won season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix to claim his 6th Formula One World Drivers' Championship by 87 points from his teammate Valtteri Bottas, Mercedes' 6th straight constructors' title. Oh, here we go. 2019, earliest traceable patient, a 55-year-old man, developed symptoms of a novel coronavirus, COVID-19, in Wuhan, China. not from a wet market, but from the intentionally released, virus to attack the entire world. So, yeah. In 2020, actor Elliot Page, formerly known as Ellen Page, revealed she is transgender. Yeah. Okay. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking that. Yeah. And then let's see here. 2021, Turner Art Prize was awarded to activist group Array Collective for installation including Mock Irish Pub, first Northern Irish artist to win. All right. Before we move on into the births and deaths, anything, any viewers, anything that you, any articles that grabbed your attention more than most, anything that you wish we had elaborated more on, anything that you would have liked to say something, start a dialogue down in the comments section. Anyway, let's move on into births here. Starting us off in 1081, we have Louis the Sixth the Fat, King of the Franks, from 1108 to 37, born in Paris, dying in 1137. So sounds like he died in office. Then we also have Tipu Sultan, 1750, was an Indian ruler of the Kingdom of Mysore from 1782 through 1799. Also a pioneer of rocket artillery known as the Tiger of Mysore, born in Devanali, Bangalore, Karnataka. Tiger of Mysore. Let me check this out here real quick. So what do these look like? Tiger of Mysore. Oh, wait. What? Hold on a second. Is that a rocket? I don't know what that is. It's some kind of sort of rocket. Okay, here we go. And it was so the rocket artillery known as the Tiger of Mysore. So let me look this up actually. Okay. Yeah, that would be frightening. Have missiles flying at you. Is that a bayonet attached to it? Bruh. Like, and there's missiles flying everywhere, and that horse is exploding, that guy is flying away. His hat flew off. Good lord. You know what? That might be the profile, the thumbnail for today's video. So, anyway, moving on up, we have Madame Tussauds, 1761. Was a French founder of Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, born in Strasbourg, and died in 1850. And at risk of bringing modern politics into this, due to recent events, they removed Kanye West's statue from Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, but they still have Adolf Hitler's. So what does that tell you about their actual agenda? Anyway, we have Georgy Zhukov. Yes, this guy. General Zhukov. 1896, was a Russian deputy commander-in-chief of the Red Army during World War II, battles of Stalingrad and the Kursk and Berlin, and Minister of Defense, born in Strelkovka, Kaluga. And yes, I forgot the name of the movie, but it's about the power struggle after the death of Stalin. I think the movie is called Death of Stalin, or After Stalin, or something like that. But Zhukov, man, that guy is, yeah, you don't want to go up against him. And we have Mary Martin, 1913, was a U.S. actress, Peter Pan, and Larry Hagman's mom, born in Weatherford, Texas, dying in 1990. Looks a lot like Lucille Ball, but it's not. So. Then we have Woody Allen, 1935. He is a U.S. film director and actor, Zelig and Annie Hall, born in Brooklyn, New York. 87 today. Happy birthday to you. We have Richard Pryor, 1940, a U.S. Emmy and 5-time Grammy Award-winning comedian, live on the Sunset Strip. An actor, Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, is also a screenwriter, Blazing Saddles, born in Peoria, Illinois, died in 2005. Well, rest in peace, you magnificent bastard, because Blazing Saddles is one of the best movies ever made, period. And people have really got to watch it today and really have got to get the stick out of their ass with all this offensive, malarkey. So
I get a kick out of this scene every time that guy walks up, that Jack dude just walks up with a horse and fucking drops him. That shit is hilarious to me. I was fucking dying. I was losing my shit. I couldn't keep it together.
When he parked his bull, he's like, "Hey, you can't park that animal here," and he just comes up and punches the horse.
Yeah, he just goes with the horse and boom, and pops him right in the jaw, and the horse folds like a lawn chair. Just like.
Don't mess with Mongo.
I was like, Jesus, dude. Like, how the hell? As hard as Mike Tyson.
It's Mongo. He can probably fold Mike Tyson into a lawn chair.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway, do you want to take 1945 here, or are you still doing things? You're still doing things. All right, 1945. We have Betty Midler, U.S. singer, The Rose, Wind Beneath My Wings, and actress, Ruthless People and Beaches, born in Honolulu, Hawaii. A Hawaiian. Pablo Escobar, 1949, was a Colombian drug lord born in Rio Negro, Colombia, dying in 1993. Yeah, Pablo Escobar. Really infamous name right there. And then who else do we have? Sarah Silverman. Yeah. Bleh. 1970, U.S. actress and comedian, the Sarah Silverman program, I Smile Back, born in Bedford, New Hampshire. And she's about as funny as a wet mop. So, actually, at least a wet mop has a job to do. So, at least a wet mop, can be useful. 1985, U.S. singer-songwriter Janelle Monáe, Dirty Computer, and actress Hidden Figures, born in Kansas City, Kansas. All right. We have Tyler Joseph, 1988, U.S. singer-songwriter, 21 Pilots, born in Columbus, Ohio. Okay. Zoe Kravitz, 1988 as well, a U.S. actress, Big Little Lies, daughter of Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz, born in Los Angeles, California. All right.
Also, Catwoman from the Batman.
Which one?
The new one.
The new one.
That
Okay.
She's that's who she is. She's Catwoman in that movie. Yeah.
All right. And moving on up into deaths, starting us off in the year 660, we have Eligius, or Eloy, a French patron saint of horses, speaking of people punching horses, goldsmiths and metalworks, who was a bishop of Tournai-Noyon, who spent 20 years converting the pagan population of Flanders to Christianity, died at around the age of 72. We have Henry I of England, 1135, was the King of England from 1100 through 1135. And the first king the first English king after the Norman conquest to be fluent in the English language, died at around 66 of fever after eating a sorbet of lampreys. So, don't eat lampreys. So Stingray's got another one. They got this guy, and they got old crikey britches. So, and then we got Leo X. Died on this date, 1521. He was an Italian Catholic Pope, 1513 through 21. Died at the age of 45. And who else did we lose on this date? George Lohman, 1901. English cricket medium-pace bowler. 18 tests, 112 wickets at 10.75. Died of tuberculosis at 36. Dang, he had a cool mustache going on. So, we also have, in 1972, Antonio Segni, was an Italian politician, Prime Minister of Italy from 1955 through 57, as well as 59 through 60, and 62 through 64, died at the age of 81. And couldn't keep your office for more than 2 years at a time, could you, man? We have David Ben-Gurion, 1973, the first Prime Minister of Israel from 1948 through 53, and 55 through 63, died of cerebral hemorrhages at the age of 87. This guy who looks like the bird that looks like Bernie Sanders. We also have Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit, 1990, was an Indian diplomat and politician who was the first woman to hold a cabinet post in India, died at the age of 90. Dang. What else do we have here? We have, let's just go to 2020, Dennis Menk, a U.S. baseball infielder, MLB All-Star of 1969 and 70, Milwaukee Braves, Atlanta Braves, Houston Astros, and Cincinnati Reds, died at the age of 80. Dang. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for anything you may find interesting, including all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander, and I was joined by Brendoom Fraser.
The Slayer.
The Slayer, yes.
Yeah, sorry. I was going over to get a battery charger for my car.
Alright, I wasn't sure if you were going to pop on again or not, so...
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
That's alright.
Yep,
anyway, Until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in some news, we have a news show coming up at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Anyway, until you see us, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!
Toodles!